There
Okay.
you go. And you can start.
Okay. Hi, I am Cheryl Bond. I am one of the co-founders of 27K. I have been in the outdoor performance and fashion industries for almost 20 years now. And we have created technology that does automation for scan to pattern personalization of fashion and apparel. But before we start, I'll take you back a little bit. So this is me and my co-founders in 2022. In 2021, we launched one of the world's first custom and made-to-measure outdoor apparel companies to the world with a successful Kickstarter campaign. And then we lost 18 months in our delivery of materials due to the pandemic. So in that time, we spent a little bit of time tinkering and building our back-end systems, which resulted in us winning the top two awards in the outdoor industry globally. We created a product that was made to measure, fit perfectly every time. We did made to order production where no units were ever made without an end consumer. And we had 100% inclusive sizing, which was an industry first. And in those 18 months, we were looking at how to make this happen at scale. And what we did was we started to test all of the competitors and all of the products on the market for made to measure technology for fashion. And what we realized is that every single option on the market was falling short of what we actually needed to manufacture a product like this. So in those 18 months, while we waited for our materials to arrive, we built our own technology in-house, and we started to go live with completely automated, made-to-measure, scan-to-pattern, and to factory. We built our technology for us internally, but we soon realized that it wasn't just us that was having this problem. There are over 1,800 articles on McKinsey and WGSN, the world's largest forecasting service for fashion, going back all the way to 2014, telling brands and telling consumers that the future of fashion is custom and personalization. And we've seen some other brands take really big swings at this. Most notably, our Amazon launched their Made For You t-shirts in 2021 and soon shut that down. Uh, Unspun has created custom made to measure denim, and they've actually built their own machine for it. And then we see other brands like Nike and Jimmy Choo and others that are doing this. The brands that you see around the outside are all brands that approached us and asked us to use our technology. So it's out of this that 27K was born, and we built our own technology to help brands automate direct to manufacturing for their patterns. So I'll take you through a quick journey on one of our customers. Our customer is an auto suit manufacturer that is creating custom made to measure racing suits for F1. They get an automatic customer order. They have a really amazing design tool in 3D scanning, which is really awesome. And then it takes them almost 8 to 15 hours to do anything with that product before they can manufacture it. So they came to us and asked us to automate, and we're actually saving them almost 975% in time savings, because with us, they can do the exact same thing in a single instant. And in fact, they can process almost 100 orders with us at the exact same time. Like I said, our first customer or the customer I just walked you through is in auto racing. To start and build our technology, we're focused on three primary target verticals, which are auto racing, the outdoor performance market, and PPE and protection. And the main reason for this is because these verticals are already playing in the custom market. They are creating custom made to measure product, and they're doing it in an incredibly manual way. So we're targeting them to help them automate and increase their sales to help us grow our business. The global fashion industry is a $3 trillion market, and there are estimates that about 6% of global fashion companies are already playing in the custom made to measure market. So that's our target. We're building in the brands that are already creating custom. And with our traction with brands that we already have in marketing or in negotiations, we're building towards 3 million in the next year, and then scaling to our pretty achievable 12 million as a SOM in 5 years. We have a B2B SaaS model. We have a three-pronged approach. So we charge a setup fee to help bring brands onto our system, which sets up basically coding their patterns for automation. Once that's set up, we charge a monthly platform fee and a percentage of all sales. Our average customer order for their customers is between $1,000 and $4,000. So it's a really high value for us, and we grow our business as they grow their business. And by helping them become more efficient, we are helping them accelerate and sell way more product, which helps us generate exponential revenue. We have 3 signed brand clients already, including Made, our brand, which we are, 4, including Made, our brand, which uses our technology and is still in market. And then we have an additional 21 brands that we are in either various stages of discovery and signing with an average contract value of 150 a year. We're a team of experts across industries. My background is in product development in manufacturing, so I really know this space and how to help these brands and customers create their product in an automated way, because that's my entire career and background. Dustin, my co-founder, is an expert in branding and marketing for outdoor brands, so he understands the customer loyalty that this can bring to our clients. Our advisors are some of the world's leaders in performance and custom apparel, with Drew Green, the CEO of Indochino, being an advisor for us. And then we have a really strong ecosystem of support, both from accelerators and programs, as well as industry-leading technology groups in fashion and technology. And Chummy. Chummy is our CTO. We just brought him on. Sorry, I forgot that we added him to this slide. So we are starting our raise in January 2025. It's primarily focused on bringing on our software dev team to help build our MVP. And we are really, really focused on setting ourselves up as a strong foundation so that as the broader fashion industry is pivoting towards this, which all indications indicate that they are, that we are being poised as the leader in this space and the only option that can help brands achieve customization at scale. Hi, Christine. The future of fashion is custom, and we're so excited for people to come on board and help us automate it. Thank you.
Oh, Christine just got here at the last minute. That's okay. Christine is Cheryl's coach with She Boot. So Christine, we're so excited to have you join us. I know you're in transit, so.
Okay, I'll redo it for you later, Christine.
Yeah. Yeah. We started a little bit earlier as well, so we had time for feedback and conclusion. So, okay, and with that, we'd love to collect some feedback. Maybe who wants to, does someone vocalize they want to?
I just have one first question just to clarify. Can you go back one slide? So these 3 boxes, are these things that have been done or things that you will do?
So they are in process. So we have an MVP. The raise will be to build it into a full enterprise solution. And then we will have 10 signed partners by the end of 2024. I should move that to the back end.
Yeah, so this was just really and even just saying we have an MVP and you guys have signed clients and like people using your product, I think you kind of need to not call it an MVP anymore. Like if you have really, really sold this product outright, then it's a live product. It's a real thing.
Sure.
And this made me very confused, or like I was like, wow, this is a real company. You guys have real brands, you have real customers, like let's go. And then you said, but then we're going to, even saying scale MVP, I wasn't on the same slide as your raise made it seem like you hadn't even built your MVP yet.
Okay.
So that was just really like this totally like the whole presentation is actually really, really strong. This last slide confused the hell out of me.
Okay.
And then like, yeah, you're saying like we're raising in 2025, but we've got 10 signed partnerships this year, or will get them. So are you raising to get them, or it's like what's past was present? It was just extremely confusing on this slide.
Okay.
Much of everything else was very clear and good. So That's my first comment. I'll let others chime in, and then I've got a few more.
Can I ask you, I'd like to understand a little bit more about how the industry works. So
Yeah.
you're not creating the scanning tool, correct? You're using existing off-the-shelf scanning tool. You're taking the output of the scan?
Correct.
Is that
So,
correct?
yeah, scanning technology exists. There's
Yeah,
many companies that do
yeah,
it well, and
agreed.
same thing with designers.
On the other end, is the company giving you sort of a basic pattern and you're then adjusting it to fit? Is that how it basically works? They give you sort of the basic skeleton of what they're trying to build and what the pattern looks like?
So the way that it works currently is that, say you have a small, medium, large pattern,
Yeah,
it's called grading.
yeah,
Is they set sort of specific points on the pattern that you change. And what we do is we take those points, and rather than saying go like an inch, half an inch, 3 inches
okay,
for the different sizing, we set it so that it can do it within like a quarter of a millimeter
okay.
on those points. And that's that onboarding fee.
I get it. So then after the pattern, how automated is the production process after that? Is this a robot that doesn't care whether it makes everyone different, or is it, production runs of 10 million medium sizes before you go on to the large sizes? I don't have a sense of
So
what the production side looks like.
yeah, so the that's why we're focusing on custom brands, because they already have their manufacturing established. There are a lot of startups that are focused on the robotics side of things. Everything is still manufactured on a one-to-one basis, and where we're saving brands time is in their labor, because brands don't often run their own manufacturing. They contract out to manufacturers, depending on the brand. But we're focused on getting them to manufacturing more quickly.
Because where I was coming to, in the long term, if you want to get into sort of the mass market, as I was wondering if I ordered a shirt and give you my sizes, could the company make a customized shirt for me cost effectively, or is it so silly that I would never be able to afford to buy it? Or like,
Uh,
is the automation so good that they could build every shirt in the line differently?
So for simplified products, yes, absolutely. There are a lot of really great technologies that we're actually already partnering with and like in negotiations to input into their systems. So there are manufacturers that have robotics that can do underwear, t-shirts, leggings, like very simple, basic products. But where our like really special sauce is in really complicated products. So a t-shirt has 2 pieces.
Yeah,
This auto racing suit has 274.
yeah. I'm just trying to understand what the upside is. I mean, there's only so many with Formula One racers. There's lots of people who buy shirts.
Yeah.
So the question is, at what point does this become a mass market solution as opposed to a specialized solution? And I didn't get a strong sense of that. And maybe it doesn't matter. I was just curious.
Well, you can look at the pipeline though, right? Like there's some like you're further out the pipeline. You have
Yeah.
Patagonia, you have a few other like
But again,
large.
is it Patagonia for all the products for some special thing they're doing?
So the end goal, like the goal over time, and this is going to take decades. So this group that I'm a part of, the OCAC and the IEEE, are working groups that are focused on building every part of the ecosystem to pivot fashion towards made to measure to basically save the fashion industry. It's a massive decades long roadmap they have. And so, yeah, the end goal is that the entire fashion industry is able to work on a parametric uh, made to measure system. That's what we want to be poised for. So
Yeah.
we want to
So
set ourselves up as that standard now
agreed.
with
So
brands that
if
are
you are
already doing it.
today on the smaller market, positioning yourself to be part of this huge trend in the future, that's a very exciting story.
Mhm.
I mean, going after this small market is good, but being part of of a bigger trend, it'd be more impressive.
Yeah, we are working on a slide that shows like the global trend market and how we're
Cool.
poised for like capturing that in the future. So yeah,
Good.
I'm glad that that came across.
I can chime in with a few thoughts. I'll try and be consistent. So again, I sort of the helicopter view of your presentation. You're a good speaker. You speak clearly. You definitely have a lot of credibility given your past endeavors. So I like that. I thought your slide deck was also graphically strong. I think you made it very clear what your value proposition was fairly early on. So I like that. The third slide had me confused. I think it was the third. Is that the third next? No, that one. Like you when you were addressing this slide, I was looking at these logos, and there are a lot of them, by the way, but you seem to be talking about everybody except who is on the slide. I don't know if that was intentional.
Yeah, so these are the inner circle are like the trends, and my designer is working on the deck right now, so I'll communicate that.
Yeah,
But
it just
so this is Nike, Jimmy Choo, I always forget their name, Unspun, and then the
okay.
outer circle is supposed to be brands that that approached us.
That needs a rework.
Yeah, I'll rework
Yeah,
that.
I was.
And then were you talking about Amazon here too?
Yeah, this
she
one
was.
here is Amazon.
Yeah, see, that needs a rework. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm easily confused, so it's not.
Or make it two slides. Like
Yeah.
it's two
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
slides. Just
Yeah.
put it up.
But
Yeah,
also
so-
people who are interested in fashion probably know all these names. I don't know
Yeah.
any of them. I'm
Yeah.
obviously not a fashionable person. So I think make sure you're not using industry insider terms and
Yeah.
companies that other people wouldn't
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, agreed.
But I was like, I know Amazon, but I can't tell that bottom box.
Yeah.
No,
is on.
neither can I.
I've heard. I know that Jimmy Choo is a big shoe thing, but I have to really squint to read Jimmy Choo on the bottom of that.
Yeah,
shoe.
I'll split that
Yeah.
into two slides and make it
Yeah,
more,
that's a good
more
idea.
clear.
That's a
Yeah.
good suggestion.
Thank
Your
you.
market opportunity slide, same thing again. You know, I would take a bottom up approach. You know, you have elaborated and enunciated who your target market is and your first go-to customers, but again, I would try and emphasize more of the bottom up approach. Your revenue model, your y-axis, I think you wrote whatever it was, millions, but is that ARR? Or you need to clarify, nobody does this, but the y-axis, what is it? ARR, MRR, whatever. And you know, again, like Stephanie did it, and I would recommend that you do it too. I mean, it's great to show revenue, but if you can also have some, maybe you have boxes for revenue, maybe a line showing in one color where your expenses are, and a secondary line maybe just showing, look, it's all an estimate, right? It's all voodoo, but roughly where you think you're going to be EBITDA positive would help, because it just shows that you're thinking about business. The milestone slide, I got a little confused with that, and I'm used to seeing healthcare stuff, so I kind of like to see it like, this is just me, the other guys can shoot me down, but just sort of timelines, like, you know, like how long is this gonna, I have no idea what a sales cycle takes in this industry. So what does that look like? I mean, you're going from proposal to committed in a week, in 6 months. How long from discovery to proposal? Like maybe if you put that, simplified it a bit and just put it in a timeline form, that might help a bit, because you know, we want to know how long it's going to take our money to do.
I'm gonna shoot you down a little bit on that one, Brian. Like I think it's like it's a bit of, if she knew, she would tell us, and these things take time, and she's only closed 4 customers, so and I'm sure they were all over the place.
I can tell you one took 4 days and one took 9 months.
Right? Like it's
Fair
all
enough. Okay,
and
I
like,
stand corrected.
So
and like
the average is kind of
Patagonia,
irrelevant.
like, you know, Ralph Lauren is probably going to be the slowest one at the top of the pipeline, or I don't know some of the other ones, or Burlington Medical, like that's a very different one too.
Yeah,
right?
fair enough.
So it's like they want all these to close in 4 days. That's their standard now. It's 4 days. So, and clearly it's not happening.
All right, I'll stand down on that one.
I guess one of the questions that this come out was, yeah, like maybe speak to the onboarding process a little bit more. And just understanding a little bit more about that. But I think like this is pretty standard sales pipeline, good logos. I really like how it's broken down in the categories, and it shows that you're kind of hitting a few different spots.
Yeah.
Katie, how long was my pitch?
Only 7:34. So you've
Okay,
got
so
time.
I got time to add slides, because I think
Yeah.
a lot of this is just adding in slides
Yeah.
for
That's it.
clarification.
And like this is really strong. This is
Yes, I agree.
like this is, you've got real revenue, you've got real customers paying you to use your product, and that's why this whole MVP at the end thing threw me, because I'm like, what are they waiting? Like, why are they waiting for the product? And maybe it is that Ralph Lauren's not going to buy your current product, and they're going to wait for, you know, and maybe that's something that you kind of separate out. But and discovery, yeah, is like no one's gonna check if you've actually like if that means we've had an email or two or gone back and forth. Proposal stages, like those are real opportunities, and maybe you could put the weight of how much MRR or ARR is available in the proposal stage and how much you expect to close or something like that.
Yeah, I should add all of the MRR. I have to change it to annual contract value because it's not MRR because we can't confirm how much their sales are, but we have the contract value. So that's good, a good note.
Can you add a use of funds slide too? I don't think I saw
Yeah.
that. So like a pie, typically it comes in a pie chart. I think,
Yeah.
Just show us what you're going to do with the money you're asking for, and then maybe elaborate a little bit more on the ask. Did you talk about your vehicle, safe, convertible? Did you discuss that?
Yeah, we haven't opened our raise yet, so that'll be added in for sure.
Fine.
I put less, and I know Sheboot likes to talk about use of funds. Like it's like you're gonna pay people, you're gonna grow stuff, you're gonna like you're gonna do everything you can to move your business forward. You're gonna go get more public funding. You're gonna do all these other like there's other acts. It's more about what are you going to accomplish. And I think that was really confusing in the last slide because it wasn't clear. Are you talking about what you're going to accomplish or what you have accomplished?
Right.
And it's really clarifying. Okay, there's going to be some product building. So obviously a big expense is going to be more developers, more engineers to build the product. There's going to be some execution on the partnership side. So you're going to spend more on sales, maybe add some people to add top of funnel, more people to close the contracts. And then there was a third bucket. I'm forgetting what the third kind of blue square or green square was. Sorry, Brian, I'm disagreeing with you more than once here today.
I take no offense. This is the nature of the beast.
It's always true with pitch feedback. You're going to get contradictory advice for the next
Absolutely.
number of weeks, and you need to figure out which advice you take.
Sorry,
which you
I think a
ignore.
use of funds is an appendix slide.
Yeah.
I think that's a better use for it. It's like you need to know what that number is, but it's more about what you are going to accomplish with spending 50% of your raise on developers, right? And then even taking it further, going back to this slide here, we're going to bring it to an enterprise level to unlock Ralph Lauren, Patagonia, and Burlington. We can't sell that product. We can't push them through our pipeline until that product is built. We can't hit that big jump in ARR until this product is built. So if you give us $1 million, we're going to build this product and we're going to go get $5 million in revenue. Thank you very much. Right. And because it's clear that we've already engaged with them, they are asking for this, but we need a few extra features to close those 3 deals. And these are the features that they want. And we know what we need to build. And again, that may not come out in a 10-minute pitch, but that's kind of the sequence of thinking of why you're raising the money. You have a very clear purpose of what you need the money for. It's not just to keep the company alive. It's to execute on product goals and accelerate your sales funnel. Because they're begging for it, right? Or like that, like it's just like you really got to make it seem like the customers really, really, really want this. My other question, comment, or like I left more at the start, where you present this really big problem. This is a huge trend. This is what everyone wants to do. This is Amazon and Nike and everyone's going after it. Like why you little cute startup from British Columbia is going to figure this out and not them? What did you either figure out or were they too like that's a huge gap for me, because if it's clearly as big of a problem for them, why is there a gap? Why hasn't it been solved? Why haven't you been acquired already? Tell me more.
Yeah, so that's where I think I might add in a competitor slide here, just to talk about like the features that are like missing in the global market that make it possible. So like, we've showcased there's the 3D scanning, there's measurement, there's designers, but even in the pattern companies, what they're not doing is providing any of the assets that you need to actually make a product. They make these really pretty pictures that are completely not measurement accurate. They're just made up la la land digital assets. And so that's that's why we created 27K, is like, okay, how do we take this digital that looks super cool and helps with sales to make it to an actual product? And that was the difference. So this slide we're hoping to build out to say more about like what our competitor features are missing and why they're not going after that. And that the main reasoning being it's a massive, convoluted, complex supply chain that nobody can solve on their own. So we're just that missing piece.
So that, like that 30 seconds, that needs to be in your pitch.
Yeah.
You've got
I was just thinking the same thing. There's a whole bunch of sexy work going on in building scanners and all kinds of things. There's presumably a bunch of sexy work going on building robot manufacturing. There's the little, oh, I hate to say unsexy, but there's a slice in the middle that is actually really difficult. Because I assume that you're going to learn an awful lot over the next few years on how you translate somebody's measurements into clothes that not only fit but move properly and all kinds of other things. And there'd be a great deal of intellectual property you're going to gain over a long period of time that will benefit the industry. And I think that nice slice in the middle is quite compelling.
Yeah, there is a lot of sexy, like external facing stuff that doesn't really is not reflecting the reality of what's under the hood.
I don't like sexy business because sexy business tend to attract lots of competitors. I like sexy things that solve unsexy things that solve real problems.
And all of our competitors that are even trying to do anything in this space, the only thing that they're not doing is output to manufacturing. And so that's our specialty.
Yep. Very cool.
Is that a sustainable competitive advantage, do you think?
I think so, because they are like, it's such a big beast for them to build the front end. Like they're building AI and like the stuff they're building is insane.
And well, I'm curious. So like, so there might be like, there's a cool scan app that you can go on your phone and scan it. Like, so there's like the input stuff. And then you said there's this like output robotic stuff. Are any of the Amazon, Nikes, Jimmy Choo, whatever those, like those large brands, are they playing in any piece of that stack, or is that still all generally outsourced to other companies?
It's all outsourced.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it's, so then I think it's like when you're talking about those other groups, it's like they're recognizing the value of it, but they haven't executed because there's this little middle part that's missing, and we're that middle part.
I'll also, so I'll add a slide on that. And I also want to talk about like tech stack integration. So like the technologies that brands are using to do this is like 30 to 40 technologies, and we take input and output to all of them.
Yeah, because like this slide actually visually doesn't tell me anything.
Okay.
Like
I assume there's could be a significant amount of intellectual property you learn over the next coming years, because I assume it's not just about the size. It's about, if you're making something, a jacket, whether you're making out of cotton or leather made from mushrooms versus various things, they're all going to operate differently, and you're going to be able to take into account those kind of things and make sure the pattern is not just based on it's a combination of the measurements and the material and the way it hangs and the way it feels and all kinds of things that are going to determine what the pattern looks like.
Exactly.
And you will become the source of the main source of all that integration information.
Yep.
Very cool.
Thank you guys so much. This was super helpful.
We have notes, and we'll have the recording right after the session. I'll make it available to you too. I know it's a lot to take in and write down, but are there any other questions? Oh, go ahead, Nolan.
Okay, one more nitpicking. The team slide could use some like a little bit of redesign. Like, I can't read your CTO's name.
My fonts didn't export. It does.
Yeah. So the fonts look real bad. And then are these advisors on the right side?
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, fonts too small, just put the logos up. Nix, Arterix, Indochino, like those are good logos, right? And like,
okay.
I don't even care if it's a COO or CEO, like it's just someone at those big brands are kind of validating and helping you out.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This is with the designer, so I'm excited to see the next iteration.
Cool.
Wonderful. That was really great. Lots of good feedback. Cheryl, is there anything else you have to ask? I know it was, quite a bit. No?
No, I think I'm
Wonderful.
just excited to go in and take action on all of it because we have all the information now. It's like, okay, getting it into the pitch and where are we going to put it? So
Love it. And you've got some room, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
You've got a few minutes. So I can't wait to see next week's version. Brian, Nolan, Laurie, and Christine as well. Thank you for joining us. It was this was really such a great session. I'll be following up on a few things, but just appreciate your time and really, really valuable. So thank you all.
Well,
Yeah, I'd like to thank you. I'm sorry I was late, but I have an hour with Cheryl just right after this. But great feedback. I think it was excellent, and it's really good. We'll be chatting through that in the next hour.
yeah,
And
really,
making
really
sure we
valuable.
get-
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And I'll do my best to get you the recording too, just in case there's something that comes to mind and you want to get back to that. I'll upload as soon as Zoom lets me. I'll make it I'll make it accessible.
Thanks, Katie.
Wonderful. Thank you all very much.
Great.
Be in
Okay.
touch.
Thanks for your
Have a
time.
good weekend.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.